All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to be doing a pick a card reading today on what is manifesting for you over the next few days. I actually wanted to title this video, What's Manifesting for You This Weekend? But then I realized people might come across this video at a different time. So, since the weekend is a few days from right now, you can take that as a weekend message if you watch this at the time that I upload. And if you watch it later, then it's simply in the next few days. I felt inspired to do this reading because, a few things. One being that my mood has slightly shifted. I'm feeling a little bit better compared to yesterday. And then the other thing is that a friend of mine has been posting some readings on Instagram lately, and the last one that I watched was not a pick a card, but just a what you're manifesting tomorrow reading. And then yesterday I did some sort of heavy readings. I did a reading on some grounding messages, and some heaviness was from that. And then as that reading was intended to help people kind of just get through the moment. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to switch things up and go for a more uplifting type of a reading. So hopefully that's this reading. We'll have to see what messages come up. But we're going to be doing 3 piles. So this is reading number 1, reading number 2, and reading number 3. So if you feel drawn to a specific reading or multiple or all of them, help yourself. The timestamps to each reading will be in the description box down below. Yeah. Hopefully, let me exit out of my video game. I'm hoping that the audio isn't crackly, so we shall see. Also, my friend recommended to me this anime called The Magus's Bride, and it is so good. So yeah, for any of you interested in an anime recommendation, there's that one. Yeah. Do 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 do. Okay. Interesting. Do 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 do. Okay. All right, for those of you who chose reading number 1, we are about to get started. So, what is manifesting for you over the next few days, over this weekend perhaps? Let's go with the next few days. Yeah. King of Wands, 5 of Earth, and the Chariot. Okay, so it looks like you're moving through a difficult situation, perhaps financially, internally. I'm pretty much just getting that forward movement is manifesting for you over the next few days. So that's really cool. It looks like right now you're processing a lot, or at the least going through this really major shift in your life, this like release, that like whenever that's going on, it always feels like we're not ready for it, for this shedding, for this release. See how we have that? Like the King of Wands is like shedding old energy, but the Nine of Wands signifies like tired and wanting to put it on pause and like not feeling like really ready for that. Like it's like we know we have to, but we don't necessarily want to, type of a thing, but that it's in your highest interest. Then we then, then we've got the King of Wands again. So yeah, that's definitely like sort of an uncomfortable transition that you're going through internally, but it's definitely bringing positivity into your life, forward movement. You're entering a new stage on your journey. Page of Pentacles, one that comes with some financial security, perhaps some sort of offer over the next few days. And just by like the order of the cards, like by the time that it's the weekend, as of this time that I'm recording, or by the end of these next few days. So like maybe in 3 days, there may be some sort of offer for you. It can of course be anytime sooner than that. These readings are general, and just because that there's something like lined up at the end of this like spread doesn't mean that it can't, that there aren't opportunities happening in this now moment every day. I feel like you're really connecting with this manifestation right now and over the next several days, and perhaps for a while, since I'm getting the King of Wands here and then the King of Wands right there is like looking back. And so is the Nine of Wands. So it's like it's been happening. You've been connecting with your manifestation, but now it's like been a while. So there might be some sort of like significant, uh, maybe not the spark might not be the exact word, but some significant forward movement or progression with this manifestation by the end of these few days. Some sort of tangible offer is what I would say with the Page of Pentacles. But yeah, and then just to get like a more clear message on what exactly this is, this might be teamwork. Let me read what this Kindle Spark number 24. It doesn't say spark, but it says Kindle, which basically means the same thing. Yeah, some sort of like coming together. Maybe like connections that there's been some like good things and some bad things, but definitely good things. So if you've had any like rocky relationships, perhaps there could be a kindling for those relationships that really matter to you, that feel aligned with you and your like highest well-being for this point in your journey. So those who are meant to align with you at this time will. And maybe as like some message or advice is like to give those uh people a chance, that like even if you're not sure, or you don't know much about this person, or if you don't know much about this offer, it might be wise to accept the offer regardless. Obviously, trust your intuition above all else. So it's like if the offer just doesn't seem right, then like by all means, like then that's just like not for you. You'll feel it. But yeah, for those of you that this ends up resonating with, I'm really curious if this happens at the end of the next few days. So let me know. And that's what I have for you. So cool. I know that was general, but I feel like readings always are. Like, I mean, at the same time, I feel like that was also kind of specific. Like, I feel like energy that has been really out of balance, or like people that you've had conflict with, but it doesn't feel over. Like, something about that could play a role over the next several days. You might be going at it alone or in separation from someone that you've needed a break from, but maybe your intuition is telling you that even though you're shedding this old energy and that you're going through basically some sort of ending or death transition with this person or away from this person, some of you feel like that it's not necessarily over yet. Um, it might take a new form with the Page of Pentacles, and it will be more balanced and fair and healthier for you and this person as well. But it's definitely like things have become a wake-up call where it's like this connection is ready to really evolve or make or break. For those of you where it's really up in the air, I feel like with the Five of Pentacles in the middle there, many of you feel like this is up in the air and you're kind of like with or without this person, you're getting a new beginning, and that like connections are going to be kindling in your life. So you're really like creating like a gathering place for loved ones or new loved ones. Um, and yeah, it just seems really, really nice. And I feel like that's obviously going to be a work in progress for well beyond just the next few days, but some really significant steps for that journey of creating that gathering place is taking place this weekend or in the next few days, depending on when you're watching this. So I hope that resonates with you. And thank you for watching, everybody. Um, yeah. And yeah, take care. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Wakashi wa koko. Okay. All right. For those of you who chose reading number 2, we are going to go ahead and look into what you are manifesting over the next few days. Perhaps happiness. We get the Five of Cups with the Eight of Swords. Okay. In the Seven of Wands. So some of you might be going through emotional turmoil. The keywords here are underlying emotional issue, self-doubt, and fear. It's funny that I was like, perhaps happiness, and then the kind of exact opposite card got flipped over. But honestly, I think this is a really good message because Five of Cups, Eight of Swords, to me this is saying that you're freeing yourself from this energy, from these these emotional depths of self-doubt and fear, of sadness, perhaps of loss. So maybe you've been experiencing loss recently and you're freeing yourself from like staying wounded. You're letting that part go, leaving it up to the universe, trusting that the journey is really special and that there's light for you that you can like connect with. You don't have to stay in darkness. You don't have to remain in the shadows anymore. You can emerge from this really difficult time of your journey. And for some of you, this might actually be taking place over quite some time. This is like a process, but you'll be feeling this process definitely over these few days. Let's kind of look a little deeper into all of this of what's manifesting. The star, hope, a light at the end of the tunnel, the other side of things. It's like if you've been going through it, it's like your luck is about to change. You're really feeling a shift. For those of you that this resonate with, you should be feeling this way literally right at this time that you're watching. This is the beginning of your next few days, and then this is the end of the next few days. The Knight of Cups. Yeah, I think some of you are freeing yourself from, honestly, what I was getting is you're freeing yourself from a specific romantic bond or an emotional bond. This doesn't mean that you're not going to see this person again or that you're not reconnecting. It just means that you're tired of being stuck and that you're ready to move forward on your journey of love. So some of you might have gone through loss or a breakup or a separation or just something difficult to deal with when it comes to your relationship, um, or with someone really special to you, someone who you really care about. You might have gone through some sort of loss or some um, turbulence or conflict emotionally. So a lot of feelings there. But that, yeah, over these few days, it's like you're kind of opening your heart. Maybe your heart space felt really trapped because your mind was still processing things and going in circles about what to do. Like, you keep looking for the way out, but you never seem to find it. And then it's like, because you're running in a circle. And if you like stopped and observed, you'd be like, wait a second, I could just like unlock the door. I could like open myself up to new possibilities beyond what I'm experiencing right now. So I feel like you're really opening up your heart and that you're allowing for the universe to really come in. You're seeing how maybe in some symbolic way that you had been sort of um, having resistance to your manifestations and blessings coming in. I'm not saying that it's anyone's fault or that it's, maybe there's people responsible, but basically, I'm not saying that it's your fault that your manifestations and blessings haven't come in yet, because I'm just not about that. you know? Um, I think what good has blaming ourselves ever really done other than make us feel bad about ourselves? That's not other than, because that's not good, but you get what I'm saying. It's like you might be able to see how that's why I use the word symbolic. It's like synchronistic that your manifestations, that maybe you are putting some resistance for the blessings to really come in. That's probably not the way you see it, or that's like obviously not your true intention, because we all want our blessings and miracles and opportunities and manifestations to come in. Um, Sometimes we do find ways, sometimes we hold up resistance about that, just simply because we've been hurt so much, and definitely sorry you've definitely been hurt before or recently quite badly emotionally, and it's like it looks like you're just like ready to heal from that, like truly ready, and that is really, really good. And of course, doesn't mean you're never gonna be 100%, oh, like I'm so happy and like I don't miss the past or this connection. Like, no, like it's okay to always be honest with yourself. If that is true for you, then cool. But from like, for example, I'm someone who, when I love people and just like spirits and beings that I come across in my journey, I love them always. And no matter the time, part of me will look back and I can get lonely and miss certain connections and things like that. Um, and just think about how sad it is that the way things went, even even though I might be ready to heal and meet new people, it's like it never it doesn't really, like, loss never gets easy, in my opinion. People say part of growing up is that you get over it, but I think a lot of those people are doing a lot of numbing personally when it comes to loss, and I don't think that's a real way to move on. I think that's a way to mask and um, and try to fit a specific narrative rather than just being honest and authentic to your emotions. Because if you're authentic to your emotions, like, no one should be telling you what you should or should not feel. You should just have a right to feel that way at any moment in time because they're your feelings, and we should be allowed to feel whatever our feelings are. Literally, our feelings are for us ourselves. They're the most, like, doesn't have to affect others thing possible. I don't know. It's like there's so many things going on in the world of people's actions and decisions that cause real harm. And for some reason, people get really defensive about you feeling your feelings. You know, it's like something about it just doesn't ever sit right with me. So I feel like you're freeing yourself from thinking that, like, that it's not going to get better. Like, that fear, or whatever your fears are, certain fears of yours, like, you're freeing yourself from that. You're like, I don't have to feel this way anymore. You're like, I'm not actually in that situation anymore. I'm not 5 anymore. I'm not like I'm not in that situation, you know? Yeah. And those are just examples, by the way. Like, it's just whatever it is to you. It's like trauma and things that we've gone through. It just looks like over these next few days, you're really manifesting some sort of confidence boost where you're able to see that you are no longer in that situation. And for those of you who are still in some traumatizing situation, I definitely am. Still, it's like past things, like betrayals, past heartbreaks, like times where when people let you down, you were really confused and betrayed and thought they were abandoning you, and perhaps because they did abandon you, you're at a place now where you're not that confused anymore. You understand more about human nature, about why these people react the way they do, that they are self-sabotaging, and that actually they might be in a weird way doing their own form of a cry for help, you know? And in that form, they appear to abandon others, but really, they're abandoning themselves. Whoa. So it's just something like that. You're like seeing clearly, like, what the loss really is, and you're realizing that it's not really your loss, it's their loss, and you're feeling it because you're empathizing. And then, of course, it's also your feelings too, because the fact that you feel that way about this connection or whatever these things are, it means that, like, they obviously mean something to you too. So, like, yeah, you have your own feelings, but I just feel like you're seeing their feelings versus your feelings. Specifically, you're able to understand their feelings a bit deeper now and feeling better about the way that things are going. It doesn't mean that the way that it happened or the way that you're being treated, for example, it doesn't mean that it's okay. It just means that, like, you're understanding more and you're evolving emotionally, which might make you more open and, like, able to perhaps heal and mend. So, something possibly manifesting for some of you out there over the next few days. is a potential to let the past go and really start anew. That could be together. That could be if you or both of you really are like, no, we need to go our own way. Like, it's just like hearing each other out and like being honest about how you feel and being honest about what and who you truly want at this time. The King of Cups. Would you look at that? I was just talking about like evolving emotionally, and that's literally what this is. The Knight of Cups evolves into the King of Cups. If you think of this as like Pokemon or like Digimon, you just digivolved from Knightmon to Kingmon. I don't know. So that's really cool. Yeah. Before, there was nothing wrong with how open you were with your feelings before, but maybe it was like so like direct and like powerful. But through what you've experienced, now you've done a bit more maturing. Not that there's ever anything wrong with the way you were before, but we all grow. Growth is a thing. Like if you look at a plant, plants grow. There's nothing wrong with the plant when it's just a seedling or when it's like however tall or whatever. It's like growth is sort of inevitable. So you definitely go through this huge growth spurt emotionally over this weekend. And I feel like many of you are already really emotionally wise. So this is just like, yet again, your heart expands from infinity times 5 million to infinity times 6 million. It's like it expands to more infinity that you thought possible, but that's what infinity is. It always expands. So you always have room to grow. So what's your advice, or what's specifically happening for you over the next few days? Card 42. Reliable comeback time. So yeah, I just feel like some of you might be giving like second chances, or like not even a second chance because you never gave up on this person. You always just like believed in this person. Or you know that something deeper is going on with someone, and that you know that like they're going through something like difficult and that you want to help them. So yeah, use your discernment, reading number 2, because it's like some of you might get confused because you're like trying to move on from the past, but then you hear something like this where you're like, oh my gosh. It's like, I think of it like this: if you're willing to make efforts right now in this moment, and you have been before, and you have been, and you will be later, chances are this is someone part of your soul tribe that you're meant to believe in. Show your reliability towards. This is not saying like let people walk all over you. It's like using your discernment about who is worthy of your love and who isn't. Of everyone's worthy of love, but of your specific heart. Your heart is very precious when you share it with others. Use your discernment on who is worthy of receiving your heart. So I'm getting to tell you, like, you're allowed to share your heart with whoever or as many people as you want. So for those of you really struggling with certain connections, and over the next few days you still have your heart space for a past connection, this is also letting you know you have every right to not have to doubt yourself anymore, and know that you can still open your heart more, meet new people, and still be authentic and claim to be a reliable person for that connection that you're in separation with. Does that make sense? It's like, because years ago, there was someone really important to me that I met. Is important to me. It'll forever be important to me, because I believe we're all important. But anyways, it was really difficult for me because we went through separation within like a month of meeting each other. And that was that. And it became a very unreciprocated, unrequited love. And I would want to come together with someone new because I'm like, well, I don't want to just be in this situation. I still want love. But I felt like it was a betrayal to my love with this person if I went and met someone new. I'm like, well, that means I'm a liar for saying that I will always wait for this person and that I'll always be there for this person. And it took a lot to work through and feel that that I'm still me, and that I'm honest and still reliable, even if I'm able to move on finally, meet new people, and also still be so awesome that I would still hold space for that person if he ever needed a friend, if he ever needed love and support, if he ever needed someone to talk to, even if that may not be the way it went, vice versa. I don't really care. I'm just being who I am, So it's there's this whole you're discerning that the other person or other people are not you, and you are definitely you, and you don't have to question yourself and doubt yourself anymore. Something like that. That's what I'm getting for you of what's manifesting over the next few days. So I hope that resonates. And yeah, I'll talk to you all later. Take care. Tarot readings are so funny to me because it's just I don't know, I feel casual about it, but they're so, I don't know, they can get pretty deep. Yeah. Okay. All right. For those of you who chose reading number 3, let's look into what you are manifesting over the next few days. I'm still laughing from the end. I just did reading number 2, and I just thought it's just funny. But anyways, okay. What is manifesting for you? Dark matter, unseen forces at work, karma. Ooh. So you're working at something right now, and you feel that there's supposed to be something way more. And I feel like it's because there is. If you feel that you haven't had much to do right now, that's because you're correct. You haven't had much to do right now. So for some of you, I'm in this boat. We're oh, what's wrong with me? I'm supposed to be productive. I'm supposed to be getting myself out of this. Why aren't I doing anything? All I'm doing is resting, rejuvenating, and sleeping and meditating and thinking about this. It's um, nothing's wrong with you. It's not your fault. You're not being unproductive or not doing the thing. It's that you are waiting to connect with important opportunities, people, chance meetings, experiences. You're in these woods, and until you get out of these woods, you might feel alone, but there's light shining on you, reminding you that you're special, that you mean something, that you're important, and that your journey is going to be full of so many blessings that are on their way to you. So rest when you need to, but keep moving forward. King of Cups, seeing the bigger picture, gaining perspective. So I feel like your heart is telling you that, and your intuition, and like your heart is wise enough to remind you that like keep going forward, like this way. So some of you might be feeling lost or directionless a little bit, and your heart is guiding you in the right direction. So some of you are worried, am I going the wrong direction? But trust your heart. 9 of Swords, secret dealings, rumors, provocation. Provoke? I don't know. I see. I feel like what this is signaling is that what's manifesting for you over these next few days is an end to the darker times, to this dark matter card. It's like heavy, and it's like not like it's like a place that all the light and miracles that are around you is because you're there, not not the place itself. Like, so for example, you could be in a toxic environment or a toxic situation and trying to tell you that you're like nothing or something like that, and that anything that's good about you is thanks to the situation or thanks to them. I'll give a really specific example. So many times, like I've heard like I only have all of what I do because of my parents, which it couldn't be farther from the truth, honestly. And like hearing all these things that like everything that makes you you is all thanks to these abusive or toxic people, you know? And it's like, actually, no, the real reason why there's any light even shining right here is because of you, not because of these people trying to take credit for you, your credit, your blessings, the fact that you're a miracle, that you shine light. So yeah, my point is like this toxic environment or place or person or people or whatever like thrives off of your light, off of your energy. And it's like if any of you are wondering if like certain toxic people or situations are going to get their karma pretty much, not that we wish poorly among others, but this is like a message saying that yeah, pretty much that's what's going to happen. And just because it makes sense, because literally when people thrive off of sapping the life force out of someone good, you, when you finally are out of there, they have they lost their main source of food, you know, of energy, and they don't thrive, and they like take it really personally, or like their bodies do or their minds do, like their mind could really just go, and like they'll have to like sit in this dark energy that is a true reflection of who they've chosen to become, the actions that they've done, you know, like when you make certain decisions that like go down a certain dark path, like there is a line that gets crossed, and when that line gets crossed repeatedly for decades, like damn, kind of wove a really heavy web. I don't know. So I know that's kind of like darker, but like I'm genuinely getting this is about like the people who have wronged you. So over the next few days, like a shift of karma is about to happen. So for example, people who have been really toxic or harmful in your life might experience like some really heavy shock of news that's like bad news for them and good news for you. So like the news could be that like you're moving, and that's like the end of the world to them because they're like, oh, but I need all that control. Why are you doing this to me? So it's like, it's just something that they perceive as an attack. Not that it necessarily actually is, it's just an accurate reflection of what they wove into their life. Um, and then use your own discernment, because as much as that may be the case, like sometimes just because we've thought that way, we then wonder if anytime that we go through something like a loss or perceive as attack, that it's just in our heads, or that we're like, we did something to deserve it. Nope, just oftentimes it gets really murky like that because there's a lot of bad examples of people who go through their form of loss, where you can look at that situation, judge it quite accurately, and see how they did everything to deserve that bad outcome. It's like, because there's those examples out there in the world, they get us to really question ourselves when we really shouldn't have to do that. You should be able to trust yourself as a person and understand like you are different from these people. And even if you somehow were unintentionally like holding some sort of toxic energy towards others, the fact that it's actually unintentional, the fact that you're actually wondering about it, like you actually care, like these are telltale signs that you are completely different from certain people and energies that literally don't care that they wrong others. And then they're confused as to why they're like getting a bad outcome. It's very, very different. So over the next few days, you are probably using your discernment and understanding that you are not actually the darkness of your situation. Your situation is the darkness of your situation. And that you are a wonderful star, a wonderful bright being. Yeah. So this is like an awakening of sorts, of realizing that you're like pretty amazing. So that's something manifesting over the next few days. And again, like people who have definitely wronged you have been experiencing pain of sorts mentally. And you are receiving an upswing, a turn of events where things are actually going in your favor yet again. So looking deeper, yeah. So you're taking baby steps towards your true home. Yeah. You're well on your way there. You're on a solid journey for it. So really try to believe in yourself that you're getting to a genuine home, a place that you can really, really call home. Home is full of loved ones, not just yourself. You deserve truly like a home with loved ones, with family, friends, uh, companions, animal companions, the whole thing, all of it, the whole picture. So you're taking genuine steps or strides really forward. Page of Swords. And you're working on gaining a clearer perspective of your situation, of seeing it more positively and for what it really is, regardless of what life has shown you. So you're not being gaslit as much anymore. You're really being more positive these next few days forward. Doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong if you're struggling to remain positive. Just remember that too. But that like naturally over the next few days, you really might be feeling more uplifted and or more like sure that good things are on the way, and that you can look back now and be happy for the timing that things like the timing of how things unfolded. Um, yeah, you'll be glad for like all the what seemed to be delays. Like they'll make sense now and won't really look like delays so much anymore, but as like perfect timing. So that might be something that's manifesting for you. Literally like tomorrow, tonight, the next day. Like, it's just going to make more sense relatively soon. And at the end of the next few days, yeah, I feel like you'll have come together with some sort of a team. You'll have stuff to work on in the physical world. And yeah, you'll be no longer working with people who aren't worth your time. And you'll be working more so with people who are. So that's what's going on. And then like as like a final message of either advice and or like something more specific as to what you're manifesting here. We've got loyalty and awakening. I think I said awakening earlier in reading number 3 just now. So yeah, you're like really valuing someone. Of course, you're valuing yourself, but you're really appreciating the loved ones that see your worth, that see your value and never gave up on you. And maybe you've been deeply wounded by this person before, where they've said harsh things, but in the end, they still ended up sticking through it and staying by your side. So some people are going to be really proving their loyalty to you over the next few days. You yourself may also be proving your loyalty. You might even do it from afar without the person knowing. There's just a really specific scene here where this character does something for the main character, and the main character never finds out. This character is just like, even if you don't know about this, like, I'm gonna make sure that like that this main character succeeds. I don't know. I'm like, I don't want to spoil anything for people who want to get into One Piece. But yeah, so something like that could be unfolding over the next few days as well. So that's what I have for you, reading number 3. I hope that was a really good reading for you all out there. Thank you so much for listening. I'm just going to type down these timestamps. Wow. It's like each reading kind of got longer than the next. Well, it looks like reading 2 is the longest one. But anyways, that's all we've got. And I'll try to be back soon. And once again, I hope this was helpful. I hope there's no crackly audio that's been happening lately. Some videos, it's not doing that. The one video that I checked did do that. So I really don't know. But yeah, that is all. All right. Take care, everyone.